Good evening, welcome back to the show, friends. It is May 25th, 2024, 7:24 p.m. I was looking across a few different channels, looking up, trying to catch up to some old clips. I was looking for some of the divorce papers or people talking about them between Seth and Katie. However, I decided to take a bit of a detour over to Rumble here, as you can see, to a channel called True Crime and Breaking News. This is where they banished Dougie Hutton to. And he's on a good roll. He's pretty much bang on here. He's not allowed on YouTube anymore because of personal reasons. But he is funny to listen to, and he's over there, nobody's watching him, but he's got all kinds of really good points in regards to what happened to Summer Wells. So I thought, for a change, we would maybe roast Doug and listen to some of his points. Not that they're too far off, I already listened to it. But everybody is suspect of the same thing in this regards. In my opinion.
It is the reason why none of your shit worked. So.
And to your...
By the way, people, got a couple of notes. I was watching JLR's video way back a month ago talking about the estranged son to Terry Bowersox Jr. And he made it public that he thinks Chris has something to do with it. Now, he's estranged from the rest of the family, but he was pulling no punches. He came out right on social media and said that. I thought that was interesting. I thought there's a big hook. You know how people want to talk about the trip to Alaska on the by way of the Bowersox? Well, with that statement, you have to include two very important points to that. Not just the fact that they took off, but just days before, Kathy Bowersox made a particular update to Facebook, and it was stating, "Message from Central Command," like this was some sort of invasion. She's asking all of these people to come up to, come on the crime scene. It's like she's copied and pasted. What does that say, actually? Let me just pull this up. I don't want to leave you hanging here. So it says, it's Terry Bowersox. Did I actually screen record it? No, I'm such a douche. We'll have to go and take a look at it. Excuse me. However, whatever she said, Sumner County Sheriff's Office made a reply asking her to edit her post, stating, "We appreciate your willingness to assist in the search for Sebastian. Currently, we have hundreds of trained professionals conducting the search, equipped with specialized technology. This includes the use of drones and other air support." It goes on to say, "which help us reduce the chance of false sightings." Keywords there. And here, Kathy Bowersox is sending out her own messages to just asking people to come, as chaotic as they can. So I thought that was interesting. Oh, can I have that back, please? Anyway, I got my Kleenex. It's allergy season. I got my Kleenex stolen from me, but it's okay. Anyway, have a look at that in a moment. But I wanted to catch up, see what Doug's doing, because he always needs a plug over here on YouTube. Please, friends, go over to Rumble and search for True Crime and Breaking News. Doug is probably missing YouTube a little bit. He's a little bit angry still, I think.
To your knowledge, he didn't take shoes with him, right? He locked the door on his way out. Or I guess, what are some of the things that you think he did as he left?
We checked for all of his shoes, and none of them are missing. The door was locked.
And was there some discrepancy as to what he was wearing when he went to bed, or what was he last seen wearing? What was he wearing? As to what he was wearing when he went to bed, or was there some?
We checked for all of his shoes, and none of them are missing. The door was locked.
And what
did you guys just get out of that?
The finger tap. Remember the finger tap on Doug? We saw this before. The finger tap.
Those people on YouTube do. That's why being not held down by the dollar sign is best when you're actually trying to get the truth out. Never been held down by the dollar sign. And I never will. Fuck the dollar. I'd rather find these cases and solve them, or help solve them, or help get people to think differently than what they're being told through all these other sources that is bullshit. This is why these cases take so long. They need to monetize off it and make the money off it. I want to solve it. Two differences. Matter of fact, I don't even want to solve it. I just want to be a help to helping the case get solved or finished. I don't even care about finding somebody or a finder's fee or any kind of bullshit. I don't care about it. Matter of fact, I would never take anything like that. But I'll tell you what, anybody who's putting the stuff out about this isn't telling you the full truth of how they really feel. They're going to use every angle to let you feel every angle so that they can work every angle because they don't have really solid shit to talk about ever. Ever. Some do, very few don't. The rest of them are just playing with your emotions, playing with your dollar, playing with your hearts. Me, I want to help find the case get solved or over with and not have to worry about it. Again, that's how true crime works. Nobody really wants to find what happened. I do.
And if you know anything or see anything. But we just ask that people focus on finding Sebastian.
And he's never done anything like that before, right? Just kind of walked out of the house.
He's not a runner. This is not normal for him to run away. He's not a runner.
And any places, I guess, I know you guys have been told to stay in the house, right? Just in case he comes home.
We are doing what we've been asked to do by the law enforcement agencies and everybody involved. I'm not going to divulge anything more than that.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to ask, I guess, next is if you were to go
Yeah, because it'd make you look guilty and stupid.
out and search right now, if people want to help search, what types of places would you guys look at that he could maybe be at?
Anywhere and everywhere. At this point,
It's been 11 days. He could be anywhere.
they've searched the woods. They've searched.
He could be anywhere and everywhere. This is so ridiculous. They want to insist that he walked away with no shoes. He could literally be anywhere because he's not within my arm's length, arm's reach. I'm willing to give up. I want you to know that he could be anywhere and everywhere. Is that because Mr. Old man Bowersox owns this busing transport? He's busing people to Alaska. He's got the pass to skip the border, cross over jurisdictions. Probably travels the highway of tears in that sense.
They've searched parks. They've searched creeks. They've searched.
Well, you haven't told them they haven't searched another state yet. And I'll tell you what, I've been in Tennessee, and the next thing you know, you could be chewing on a piece of grass and you're in Arkansas. And then you're in Wisconsin. Then you're in Memphis. Within hours. When I drove through Hawkins County, Tennessee, I went through 4 different states that day. 4 fucking different states.
We're very proud of you.
These states aren't hours and hours apart, people. They're really close. She could have left dinner, dropped him off somewhere, came home, and that 100 miles on her car would reset the black box, and they wouldn't know where the shit she went. Right? Up to that 100 miles. How long did she drive for? Whoever drove him somewhere. Did she meet up with Chris after dinner? It seems like he could have left work and met up for dinner like he's come home, but also gone back to work and still been there the next day. Chris Proudfoot, how many times did you go home? And are we going to hear about your name at the end? Like, did she give you him to discipline or to drop off somewhere? Or did she? It's a good question.
At this point, anything and everything.
Anywhere that he
please
could
search.
be staying out of the weather or getting food or.
And Pascal says he's not about the drama like you guys, but he's not distancing himself. There's been no change. There's just nothing to talk about. He's made some new friends, Tony and Seth. It's probably in their best interest that Pascal doesn't say anything, especially that everybody's watching him and he's so close in proximity and emotional support to Seth and Chris all this time. They've entrapped him, right? And they're using the man. They're using him. And they're going to dump him when they're done. Just my opinion. Just my opinion.
I mean, honestly, at this point, he could genuinely be anywhere.
How hopeful are you two?
How many people out there have autistic children? That are even 15?
Me, 16. But the point is, I was going to mention something else, actually. Doug asked a question, I got distracted. Yeah.
15 up to 15 that know how to go and get food and be a like you know, what are we playing? The Oregon Trail here and shit.
Last night, I was listening on Smiley's Tony dismissing his disability, undermining the disability, even though he's just got diagnosed with it at 15. So for what were they doing the first 12, 13 years? What finally brought him to get that diagnosis? So all of that time they had not been noticing anything, just thought it was weird behavior. I guess everybody's story is a little different, but I would have thought, considering Sebastian was wearing diapers at school, that requires an elevated need for having an EA with him, perhaps. The fact that he's got that diagnosis of autism, high functioning, low functioning, these are the generalized statements that you don't really want to. That's a person who doesn't have autism's way of understanding their comprehension level or aptitude. Tony is a moron in that sense and has no right, especially in this circumstance. And we can see how much of an ignoramus he is about it. He's undermining it. He didn't have autism. There's no autism there. He's a high function. He's just like my 15-year-old, as opposed to the other children with autism. They're not like your 15-year-old. So you're the one who's snubbing the diagnosis. It's not easy to get a diagnosis of autism. It's a process. He's such a fool. He's such an
You
idiot.
get your livestock for food.
The fact that, I frankly say it, I don't care about Pascal, dude. The fact that you're chumming around with these two is everything I need to know. The Pascal show is all about it. He wants to stick to just the facts and he wants to be just this purpose in particular. If you're lying, he doesn't want to know about it. It's not what he's around to do. But good for him. Doesn't mean the rest of us can't discuss it, talk about it. Don't hold it against him. It's just him wanting to maintain some sort of normalcy, momentum on his channel, or else he's going to get dragged down into the depths of depravity. Like what happens eventually? Staring into the abyss type of thing.
Got to make money somehow. Got to find shelter and build your own. Like
You're down
what
there
is
with
he?
Doug.
Like
Dougie.
unless he was given to some shelter or a person or somebody who knew him, there's no way for him to survive. He's not a survivalist. He's not a survivalist.
You're right.
He's going to catch a squirrel and eat it.
Who is he, Bear Grylls? Who is he? Les Stroud? Survivor Man? Don't think so. This is a child with autism with no shoes. In February, it's sub-zero. He's not with no coat. Not going to be very far. He didn't walk out. There's no footage of him walking out. Anywhere.
And eat it and cook it and know how to do that? No. Kid, no, they'll probably eat dirt before they try to eat something that gives them protein or helps. That's the facts. That's the facts. You wouldn't know.
That he will come home.
I will never give up hope on finding my child.
Optimism is at its highest,
Art.
regardless.
He'll never give up.
So
hope
where
of
there's
finding a
horse
child.
shit.
Boy, this was just moments before she hightailed it up with her husband to spend a little more time with him in his trailer.
There's a horse somewhere. That's optimism. Where there's horse shit, there's a horse somewhere. That's optimism. You guys don't have that. You guys aren't that. You guys aren't built like that. Your optimism, your lies, your little manipulation of trying to make people think you're better people than you fucking actually are. Chris Proudfoot, you're trash.
Dougie.
Katie, you're trash
Hey,
for letting this happen.
be nice.
You might have been good before it, or
Let's try to all be like the Pascal show here, shall we? Oh, come on. I want to be nice. Let's be nice let's respect one another. Oh, let's blow smoke up each other's ass. Oh, Chris Proudfoot, you're such a great guy. Man, you really look sharp without that beard. You clean up well. Seth, why don't you take some fashion advice from old Chris Proudfoot?
or maybe not everything
How
was your
does that
fault,
sound?
but you to be cognitive of him beating your son and you being okay with it makes me just as pissed off as you as anybody else, because you could have prevented your son from wanting to leave with the beatings and everything else that went on under that fucking roof that you have. Let's just be honest.
See, this is way back on May 7th. I can't hold this against Doug. He's saying the same thing I did. You know, he's
Honest.
Our son is out.
And if you're not working and you're just studying to get better employment or whatever, you're cognitive of everything that's going on, and you know how he's being disciplined or what's happening in that house. Your son left not only because of you, but because of your.
Or there's also, like, you know, Sebastian could be caught in the middle. It's fun to go with all of these little theories. You're not going to be 100% right, but there could be a lot of non-communication when it comes in just certain ways. So they get short answers. They don't get the whole story, just enough. What they need to know.
Your husband, his stepfather. Let's be honest. Splish splash, you're trash. Yeah,
There,
so
we're gonna find
100.
him.
And now just, I mean, publicly, like obviously police are now investigating a landfill. People are speaking out about that. What are your thoughts about that?
Everybody has an opinion and their assumptions, and they are entitled to those.
You would think that it wouldn't be all that easy getting a mattress out of there. You know, so here's another opportunity to catch him in a lie. So if you can pull back and find where they came and pulled that mattress out of there, because they would have obviously had to take in a road. So, you know, if you monitor as far back as you can, see what's going on, maybe there's something to the mattress. Just another line of questioning in the interview room. Did that go to the dump? Which dump did that go to? Where did that go? Maybe they could follow that mattress on CCTV when it left. Followed that, then went out and investigated the next camera, tried to get that. Unless they already knew the car, then they could jump ahead and go and question them about the mattress.
But
They went straight to a landfill because of certain other cases.
So the point is that maybe the mattress went to a landfill too. You know, that would have been of interest, of evidence coming after. If they pulled the mattress, that would be one of those awesome things to do in a trial, to pull that out as surprise evidence at the last and wheel that thing in and start questioning them based on it. Yo, mother truckers, what's with this?
Other cases,
Or something like that.
right? We've had little kids end up in landfills. We've had other cases turn up in landfills, right? There's bodies all over landfills that they probably don't even know. People fall asleep in dumpsters. Trash man comes up, picks them up, and they get crushed and things happen. It happens.
You know the two compartments on the belly of those big buses? Well, old Terry Bowersox, you know, is in control, has a whole whack of different keys for all of the different luxury coaches he has. Could be real easy just to slip by and pick up a 80-pound package. It would be nothing for him to be seen hauling around heavy pieces of luggage. And in that mix, well, you would have to really, you'd have to have some evidence, wouldn't you? But it's interesting to speculate.
He's not in a dumpster. He's not in a landfill. He was dropped off somewhere else, and he was dropped off alive. Let an autistic kid fend for himself? Yeah. Good luck. Was he dropped off near people is my question. Me, I don't think so. I think he was dropped off where somewhere. Like,
I hate this.
he only knew how to walk to the ice cream
You hear people make it out to look like he's hanging out in the sewers, like this is the movie Goonies or something.
shop, they said. Or he knew where that was, but he couldn't get home or go anywhere else. How the fuck is he going to know which direction to go? I mean, come on. You drop him somewhere, he's going to look around, and there's nothing in either direction. He probably just lay down and die.
All we've asked people to do
Well,
is
here's the thing. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. He took off, didn't take the road. He went that little direction where there was no cameras, allegedly. I have a hard time believing that. Not to mention, even still to this day, that video with those weird lights bobbing around and the people in the video at that time of night and them not even acknowledging it, as though that, like, there's people that you can't identify in the area and you don't have a missing child, doesn't tell me that's a legitimate situation. There's no sense of panic or urgency. You know, you heard them early on trying to dismiss it, but you can't dismiss the fact. You can dismiss whatever you think the lights are, but to zoom in and see the people in motion around there tells me that there's activity out there, and they didn't care. They didn't flinch.
How do we know that she didn't redress him? We don't. Jess says, yeah, he's right. He's not that inept. He's smart, and if he wouldn't have lived if he would have lived a normal life, he wouldn't have regressed. I agree. Remember, he was in diapers. He was wearing diapers as like a 12 or 13. Okay, let me ask you something. Who wears diapers as a young teen?
Doug.
Somebody who's been what? You scare the shit out of them, literally. Somebody who's afraid, somebody who's been threatened, somebody who's fearful, somebody who's afraid to go. Like look at Harmony Montgomery. She died because she had potty accidents, because she was so scared, and her dad had to kill her, then cut her up and hide her in a suitcase and whatever else for years, right? Like, it was a keychain light. And the lights they saw, people drive at certain times. It doesn't always necessarily have to be somebody picking Sebastian up. Again,
Right. I can argue that there's different factors going on in that video, and it's the timing and considering the story that Katie wants us to believe. And nobody wants to come forward, considering there's somebody missing, saying, hey, that was me, considering it was a small subdivision. You know, if you go to JLR's video, back when he was up there earlier in the search, you know, they're going on about how much support and how fantastic everybody is and how great and cooperative they've been with all of the camera footage that they've been coming forward with. Well, we eventually heard how that turned out. You know, they're not well liked in the community, and they've had some very public confrontations, which happens, I guess. You know, don't want to hold it against them, but it just so happens the things that they're stating have everything to do with Sebastian, and he was a point of contention in that manner. And they're not acting as though there's a mystery at hand, like there is to all of us. It's not as mysterious to them as much as they want to emphasize the fact that it is a mystery. That's where they want to leave it.
and you don't see any wedding rings here. Where's the fucking love? If you like it, put a ring on it. That's all I'm saying. Chris Proudfoot.
So here we are over at Proudfoot Family Secrets, Tennessee, minute 7. The command center comment is at 21:31. I'll go to minute 7, see what that is, though.
Side of the family has lots of history with drugs, and if you're struggling out there with drugs, please, you can get the help and get the support. Drugs is deadly, addiction is real, but people's on Katie's end, her immediate family from Virginia have a lot, folks, of legal problems. A lot of problems where they've been in trouble with the law, and it doesn't seem like they're a proper safety net for Katie, a support system, because they have their own issues and problems. Plus, they haven't posted anything out there to publicly support the situation. I'd be surprised if they even knew, considering that Terry Bowersox didn't, he didn't even know what was going on with this case. But here's more of people that are talking about Proudfoot, Chris, and Katie, and about that relationship. And it does make sense, though Chris works, right, long jobs. But at these long jobs, he goes away for these extended periods of time. And I think it's more, not just the job itself. He's doing that, the way I'm told he's doing that, is because he's getting away from Katie. And whatever, possibly Sebastian. Because we still don't know if Chris loves Sebastian. We don't know that. I haven't seen a photograph. Big D with two of his favorite girls eating spaghetti at the spaghetti factory and watching get boat racing on the Cumberland. So here's Big D, folks. What kind of role does Big D have in this case, and is he the henchman? And I don't say this sarcastically. I thought it was funny when she said her Big D. But is he like the one that does the dirty things for the Bowersox? Because the Bowersox, to me, is fishy. And I say that not maliciously, not in bad faith. I say it based off my own experience with the Bowersox.
So he's going to bring up the fact that, just days before, Kathy was so gung-ho on Facebook to get people in there to help search on their behalf that Sumner County Sheriffs had to step in and tell her to edit her message. And old man Terry has this business that has his access to cross borders. He's headed to Alaska driving in the midst of all this going on. Now, I'm not saying he's guilty of anything. I'm just saying it's rather circumstantial, wouldn't you? They have all of the right tools right there to get rid of the body, and you wouldn't know or be any of the wiser.
They're literally in Chris Proudfoot's neighborhood chasing cars.
And it would seem to me the Duper's Delight formula to all of this would be, if the one thing that was factual in all of this, after looking back, it would be that Katie and Chris want to use that term anywhere and everywhere. Because literally, that's where he will be. They disposed of him so far away that you literally pretty much have to ask everybody anywhere and everywhere to go and look somewhere if you want a chance to be successful. That would be anywhere and everywhere. That would be like almost like codified language that only a few people in the inner circle would understand and know. This little family.
Around. It wasn't just me. It was two others that told me this and shared their own experiences. When they were out there searching for Sebastian, they had flyers. The Bowersox is lurking around in their vehicle, SUV, taking pictures of people and kind of intimidating them in a sense.
There's
the Bowersox.
She's looking pretty angry there.
Now, Terry Bowersox was not kind, said kind things about Kathy. But to me, it's like the encounter is basically you're seeing someone, right? Now, whether they I don't know if they're aware of me. I don't know if they're aware. It was weird because I don't even think they knew who I was. Got a media shirt. Hey, JLR investigates. Covering the Sebastian case. You know anything? What's up? And then instead of saying, oh, that's my grandson, we're looking, whatever like that, you jump in your car and you run away after you chase me. But you jump in your car and run away. Like, who does that? But another thing that's it's interesting.
Add that to this list too. Highly suspicious behavior. Why are you guys acting so suspicious?
You know, when Kathy was posting things about searching and doing all this mobilizing, because she made all these public posts on Facebook about mobilization and help, and we're out there looking and whatnot. Look, she said command center. Remember, she said she set up a command center update.
Yeah, right here.
And then she said in this post here, Kathy,
they're asking people,
she was like, they're now asking people to drive the roads, drive the neighborhoods, drive around buildings and businesses. They have deployed drones and heat sensors for the groundwork. Report anything you see. Thank you. That are all willing to help. So she posted this on a day after the search, or the day after Sebastian was reported missing on February 27th. Well, guess what, folks? Sumner County Sheriffs responded to her. Did you guys know that? And they were like, this is what they said. Miss Bowersox, please edit your post. We appreciate your willingness to assist in the search for Sebastian.
Now, hold on. Considering, excuse me, the defensive wounds on Chris, on his forearm, said he's blaming on the dogs, the signs of struggle, the weird behavior of the Bowersox, she's literally, and think about all the things that compounded since then of all the suspicious behavior looking back on it. This is an early attempt to get a bunch of strangers in and promote and enable chaos in this situation. Don't you think that you would be more tuned to be quiet off your social media and stay by your phone and get the lowdown and understand what you need to do if you're so adamant about helping and being positive in the situation? No, she was going to the masses and planting the seed under the guise of ignorance, there's no excuse for ignorance in that sense, especially in the law's eyes. Ignorance is not a defense.
We have hundreds of trained professionals conducting the search, equipped with specialized technology. This includes the use of drones and air support, which can help us reduce the chance of false sightings. Our teams are experienced in such operations, ensuring a thorough and efficient search. Thank you for your understanding and continued support. They wanted her to edit the post about her talking about doing this, that, and the other. Like, yo, we have this under control, lady. It's just weird. And here's why I think it's weird. Because she's so gung-ho a day later about searching for Sebastian.
Then they take off. They take off to Alaska. It was probably prearranged. Okay, you can arrange around that if that's going to be your means of disposal of the evidence, the key evidence in this little conspiracy of theirs, right? Because if the guy is scheduling coaches and he's really being the people who takes the orders, schedules them, lines up the driver, gets the bookings, right? He can really facilitate all the things that need be to have a smooth transition into not having Sebastian around and everybody else being able to promote this story and on with their lives, enjoying their insurance money.
Yeah.
Because what they're really pushing for is they want Sebastian to be declared dead, deceased.
And then a few days after that, she and Terry Bowersox, her husband, go to Alaska. They go to Alaska, folks. In the midst of a 15-year-old grandson being missing. Now, I asked Terry Jr. about that. And he said, he doesn't know. He doesn't know why they would do that. He said maybe it could be a prearranged. He told me maybe it was a prearranged trip. And very well could be. But again, folks.
Good time
if
to go
your
to a conference.
significant other or your loved one was missing, and
Terry Bowersox probably had to show up at the policeman's ball in Anchorage, Alaska.
was frantically searching, would you just go to work and leave? For instance, if you were in whatever state you're in and your loved one went missing, someone very, very close to you, and there's searches all over the place, and everyone needs help, would you just tell everyone, well, I'm going to leave the state because I got to go to work? Terry had to go to work, but...
Well, remember, the police just gave her a go-ahead and take off type of thing. It's like, hey, can you edit your post? Listen, we have everything under control. Well, guess she doesn't need any of my help, and she stepped back and went on about her business as well, right?
Kathy didn't have to go to work. Terry
Just
supposedly works
interesting
for
timing.
Motor Coach and had some trip in Alaska to go to. Prearranged, but Kathy went and joined him. Sounds a little bit weird to me. I would stick around and try to find my loved one. I would do it. I wouldn't just say, hey, I'm going to travel 61 hours away, drive.
Beautiful drive.
Or is vacationing and trips to Alaska more important than your loved one? And I say that because I was told that they actually drove to Alaska. And my mind was thinking, how in the world can you drive to Alaska? Because once you get up to Seattle, we're up in that area.
Depends where you pick people up at. Depends what event you're taking them to. It's interesting to know those details alongside why they took that trip. Friends, let me know in the comment section below. And remember to hit that thumbs up, share this out to your social media. Keep the faith when it comes to finding justice for Sebastian at this point in time.